The last and one of the most important things you can do in lesson 4.3 are the word problems. So we've got at a certain time of day, the angle of elevation of the sun is 34 degrees. Find the height of a tree whose shadow is 29 feet long. So the first thing you do is draw a picture. Your angle of elevation is here, 34 degrees. The height of the tree is what we don't know, so that's here. You can call it whatever variable you want. And then the shadow is 29, so that's going to go here. So then you have to figure out, do I want to use sine, cosine, or tangent? Think about so, ka, toa. Sine and cosine both involve the hypotenuse. We don't need the hypotenuse. We need the opposite side and the adjacent, so that's why I'm picking tangent. The tangent of the angle is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. So then all you need to do is go to your calculator and make sure that you are in the degree mode. And to solve this equation, you just need to clear the fraction by multiplying by 29 on both sides. So I'm going to go back to my calculator, which I remember is in radians from the last problem. And I'm going to go into mode and see it's still in radians. So I'm going to go over to degrees and hit enter at the bottom. And then I can quit out of there. And then I want to do 29 times the tangent of 34 degrees. So just type that in your calculator, 29 times tangent 34, and then hit enter. 19.56 feet. Okay, for the next one, a road is inclined at an angle of 5 degrees. So I make my drawing 5 degrees. After driving 5,000 feet along this road, which is on the angle, find the driver's increase in altitude. So that's how far, the driver will go higher than down here. So I'm using the opposite and the hypotenuse. That means I want to use sine. So the sine of an angle is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. So multiply by 5,000 to clear the fraction on both sides, and you can do this all in one step in your calculator, and we should still be in mode degrees, and you get 435.8 feet. And the last one, the Washington Monument is 555 feet high. If you are standing 1/4 of a mile, which is 1,320 feet from the base of the monument and looking to the top, find the angle of elevation to the nearest degree. So this time we don't know the angle. We know the height of the Washington Monument. We know how far the person is standing away from the Washington Monument. We know the opposite. We know the adjacent. We don't need the hypotenuse, so we're going to use tangent, toa. The tangent of the angle is the opposite over the adjacent. So we're going to set up this ratio and then go ahead and you can divide this out and get a decimal if you want, or you can do it all in one step. So how I'm going to do this, because it's different than what we've done before, is I'm going to use something called the inverse tangent. So if you see the yellow button, the tan -1, that's your inverse tangent. First of all, make sure you're in degrees. So you're going to do second tangent. You always use second tangent to find the angle. And the ratio that we had was the opposite over the adjacent. And then if you close your parentheses and hit enter, it should give us the degrees. And it's set in the directions to go to the nearest degree. So that's why I rounded it to 23 degrees.